All right, welcome to Established. It's been a while since I did something on this podcast, but I've just been busy. It's summertime. We just went through a heat wave, and now we're here enjoying summer in my backyard, as you see. And a lot of things have changed. Uh, Work and dreams, objectives, right? You got to change and go with time. Uh, so the way we'll begin, it will be with how's everything, and then so thank God everything's great. I feel good. We working hard, working in a new position where you're learning and you're adjusting, and you have to kind of you know learn how to work with other new employees that don't understand your method, and it's sometimes frustrating because you do things a certain way. But overall, it's good. It's been good. I I I have a couple of months working already, and it's been fun. My son moved out, Robbie, and he was able to save up some money, buy himself a new car. Worked hard. He's 19. Was able to buy himself a 2000, I think it's 15 uh, Infinity Q50. That's pretty cool. I think it's 2015. So that was nice, and he worked, and that's if you're consistent and you're disciplined, you could make things come true. Also, congratulations to Sayo, as she applied for a new position and now she's a supervisor, and she worked hard, sacrificed. We've been together at the job for 20 years, and finally she got a break, and now she's a supervisor. And that is what you try to do. Try to reach those goals where where you grow, and time helps you grow. If you're young, 19, and you want to make stacks of money, well, you have to pay your dues sometimes, and that comes with time. It's just that. The more you work, the longer you work, the more growth. The more experience. So that's good. So there's a few things that you have to do in order to grow, and one of the things is just show up to work. Show up to work. Don't call out. Simple things. Listen to orders. Don't be an a-hole where you think that everybody's wrong and that you're the only one that's right. So you gotta work on that. If you have that issue, work on that. Uh, and also don't get frustrated over pay. Pay is one thing, but if they say jump from job to job, you know, and yeah, but you have to master one job to jump to another, so that when you do apply to the new one, you don't go in there just like without knowledge and just guessing and hoping that everything works out. Of course, you can take chances, but I'm more of an old school kind of guy where I feel like you have to hone your skills, and then when you adapt to the new position, even if it's a new one, at least you have a history of experience that will help you in the next chapter of your life. Well, in addition with that, I have been working toward buying a home, and that's something that I want to share because it's not as easy as it looks. But I also make it more complicated because I party a lot and I enjoy life. So sometimes you don't sacrifice. It becomes a little bit more complicated because you gotta save money, and then you have to keep your credit score up, and that would be something that I want to go into detail, and that's your credit score. I mean, sometimes it feels like your credit score is wrong because if you have great credit, somebody might try to steal your credit, which sucks. But if you have credit that's so low that no one's gonna look at you, then you better make a lot of money so you can buy things cash, and that gets complicated because most people can't afford to buy a house that's for $400,000 cash unless you work with a team. and everybody puts in 100 or 50,000. But even to come up with $5,000 is a mission nowadays, because we're in a time where Trump has just has taken over, war on his own, pretty much deciding to bomb Iran. And there might be great reasons why. Most of the time it's because of oil, but hey, they're a threat. If he says it, hopefully some people listen. And if you don't care, then even better, because you don't have time to worry about that. The economy right now is volatile, and you have to be careful how you spend and how you save, because it feels like the money's fleeing. Money leaves your pocket quicker than it gets in your pocket. So that speed, that ratio of 2 hours to one is crazy. You get paid, and within an hour you lose all that money. But you're working 40-hour shifts, sometimes 50, right? 50 hours, and you owe, I'd say, 80 hours already of debt, and that's after taxes. All right, so you got to consider a few things if you want to save up. If you are going through summer and you worry about Trump, you worry about how to save, how to do things. The best thing is just keep quiet and just work and try to spend less. Unfortunately, I don't follow that rule for now, because I've been partying and I've been paying my debt off though. Well, if you pay off your debt, that's kind of saving, because eventually you pay off all your debt and now you have no choice but to save. And just stick it to just, if you want to save and you are honest to yourself, have 3 different accounts. I have an Acorns, like I said before, and that's just putting pennies in there. But then I have a credit union where they take money and they put it on the side, and then I have a fake one, which is the one used to pay all the bills. And I call it fake because that one you put $5,000 in it, and you save $50 because you pay all your debt on that card, on that account. But overall, you got to try. You don't know how much, if you know how much you make, know how much debt you have, because coming into September, it's good if you don't make any moves. Then in September you make moves for 2026, which might be the thing that will happen. And I will tell you what was one of the dreams I had, was I wanted to buy a Jeep this year. And I saw my Jeep about 2 weeks ago, after looking at Jeeps for about a month. And the Jeep is overpriced. It's a 2013 Chief Jeep Wrangler, called the Chief. It looks pretty decent. I'm a man of miles. I like cars that have low miles. I don't care the year, especially if it's an old car with a small amount of miles. It's even better. So if anything, you buy like a 2013 has 80,000 miles. That's pretty much a gem, compared to buying a 2024 with 60,000 miles already. They use it for the Fast and Furious movie, or they use it for a rental. You gotta be careful. But overall, if you buy a car, it's definitely that's not an investment. We all know that. And so you lose money on a car. Depreciation is real, and it's not a classic the one I want. So I'll tell you a quick story. I want a car, but I don't want to put too much down. I don't like putting too much down. That's just like my thing. I want to put a little bit down up front, because the car is going to get the killing anyway. It's going to be, I'm going to drive it. And even if it depreciates, I let the bank kill me with it, if anything. But if you make good, you pay enough. I took a 48-month loan. I think the interest rate is unfortunately, at 17 at the time of this podcast. And I just want to put $1,000 down. I could put more, but it's not worth it. So you have to do the math. The car was going for 16,000, well, 18,000. I brought it down to 16.5, the Jeep. But it looks like you have to get like a $13,000 car or Jeep or any vehicle for $13,000, and then you don't have to put much money down, and that won't kill you when it comes to making monthly payments. Also, if you have also I have plans to buy a house, so I have to keep my balance low. So even if I were to buy the car, I have only 4 months to pay off at least $6,000 on the car, so that I can get a good amount for the house and a good score. And I don't have a good credit score right now because I'm working on it. I'm building it, and every time I look for a car, I buy something, I push that credit score even lower. But this is the part where it's good to share, because even though it's low, I probably take at 510 right now, 540. It was at one point at 700, I think. But because of my decisions I made, it went down. So my plan to get the house in September might go to 2026. But I still want to get the Jeep at least. And the only reason I'm not rushing with the house is because they're still overpriced. You could buy a multifamily, which I want, and you have to put 25% down. I have a dream of getting one eventually, but I'm not spending over 400,000. Most houses right now going for 450, 500. So to clear that, you have to charge so much rent that you're just gambling on people's job. And being that jobs are not as safe as they used to be, you can't buy a house for 500,000 and then charge 23,000, $2,300 in Connecticut at least for rent, because the income doesn't make sense. People rather buy a house, have to and have to pay rent at $3,000 unless it's a big house. It's not worth it for them. So you got to be careful. You got to know what you're investing in. There's people that want to invest in the stock market. I'm not a stock market kind of guru. I know ETFs, some, but I don't invest in that because we need quick money sometimes, and you got to figure out either you make quick money or you save as much as you can, or pay your debt and save so that you can afford to buy whatever you want to buy. And of course, you always have to want to get something. Money has to move. It can't be stagnant. So if you make money, don't save it in the bank account. Put it to move. Make it move. Get a bank. Get a loan. Not a loan, but lend the money out to the bank. Get something in return, right? Don't do anything. No, don't make any crazy projects. As in, start car rental or electronic store selling beepers or something, because people don't buy beepers anymore. That's not in style. But I could buy a beeper. I would buy a beeper. Beepers were cool. It's a bunch of numbers, and you have to call me back. I won't pick up either, because if your number comes out random, I don't pick up on random numbers. I'm not drinking today because I've been drinking too much, and that's okay. Being drunk in the park is doesn't look too good when you're 47 or in a party or walking around drunk. People can't tell, but when you're in Stop and Shop and you end up spending $60 on hot dogs and hamburgers and then chips, you're like, "What the heck was I thinking?" And then you find out that it's that 6 pack and the vodka that worked in pretty well. Of course, I always drink wine. Leerburger, I think it's called Leerburger. I think it's Leerburger wine. Which after this podcast, I'm gonna run and get it before they close on me. Because it's 17:32 on my watch. I don't know what 17:32 is, but it feels like it's that time. So yeah, the summer has begun. The heat wave was like 130. Save on electricity by walking outside, not during the heat wave, but like in a day like today, which is nice and cool. If you see, Mini Metro has his Jeep, and right now it's going through some restoration and mechanical issues because we let it rain and the engine, aka the battery, has died. But we'll get it running eventually. If not, we just might have to get him a different Jeep. But hey, you know what? Mini Macho did beat me to my Jeep. Good for Mini Macho. Mini Macho, you win. Um, when it comes also uh, relationships, it's one of those times when you have to invest in family if you have a family, and if you do uh, want a family, just be careful because at this time, growing a family could be complicated, especially financially. And we don't know what the goals are for everybody, but everybody seems like they're down. They're like they don't care. They just don't like it. They don't like being in a relationship because they feel like it's not worth it. But if you are looking for someone, that's great. Just remember that you got to put energy into it. You got to put more energy than that. Your energy has to be greater, and then both of you, if you have the same idea, it'll work out. We have July 4th coming in. And I hope that everybody has fun. I hope everybody saves a little bit of money if they do. But if you don't save money, at least have fun. People are going by Charlie. They're kicking the bucket too fast. And it's the point now that at our age, my age, you'd be like, oh shoot, I made it to 50. It's a miracle because you get some kakaduki stuff happen to you, y ya, papique, you're gone. So, work on your health, exercise, do a bit of push-ups, if sit-ups. If not, row, squats, walk fast. Get a dog. The dog will pull you around. If anything, get like a big dog. Get a bobcat. That's what I would recommend. Get a bobcat. and, and when the bobcat is nice and grown, he jumps at you, or she, or you just have to put a harness on and then just let it carry you around, pull you around. No, don't get a bobcat. I want a bobcat, but that's just me, the way I work. So as you see, we got this hammock slash chair, and it's comfortable. Look at that. Look how my legs go. And I'm so short I can't even reach the bottom. See? Push off the leg. You can't see it. But yeah, this is comfortable. That's what you need is comfort. You need to lo-fi the shit out of life. Chill, relax, and have a good time. And then if you eat something strange like I did a couple of days ago, that shit comes out sloppy Joe in the middle of the highway, make a U-turn, and then you hope for the best. Also, I jumped from the Jeep. So the Jeep, I factor in that if you want to get something and it doesn't feel like the time is right, get out of here, you freaking fly. If the time isn't right to get the whatever you want, just be patient. The time will be right. I mean, the time will come where the numbers will make sense. It's just time. And we all know that if you rush into something, most of the time you make a wrong decision. We also, when I say we, me and my kids, we want to go to PA and visit my brother, right? And I hope he's able to accept us because I like to use his toilet. And I'm just saying that because he has a big ass house. And he has a tremendously large amount of space in his bathroom, which is freaking phenomenal. So invest in your bathroom, make them bigger. Like a mini, what do you call studio? You lay yourself out, put your feet out, cagasi, and then you be set. Vices. That's the thing I remember. Yeah, we have to stop drinking, and if you do what I did, which is start vaping, that's not healthy either. But I did it because there's nothing else to do. I'm just killing time. But I started and kind of got boring after I spent so much money on stuff. But I do have a vape. I don't smoke. I just do it for fun because I was investing too much money on hookahs, and because of that, I decided, you know what? I can't build this stuff. I can't buy the rocks or the stones. charcoal, and I was gonna die, so I might as well get a vape. And I bought something called the Geek Vape Legend 3. And don't do it. This is not. This is saying devices that sometimes you make good decisions, and make bad decisions. Your lungs take a toll, but you kill time on weekends, and you do. If you do it on weekends, like some of you do, then as long as you save up and you don't spend too much money on crack, then you're good. Don't don't buy crack. Crack, I mean, as in vices, so like cigarettes, liquor. So I'm trying to reduce the amount for alcohol in my situation, so I could save more money into something else and put more energy into podcasts, because apparently I've been too busy partying or enjoying life. And you can enjoy life. Everybody has a right to enjoy life. It's just not everybody should enjoy life too much to the max, because probably you can't afford it and you end up borrowing money. Just like investing in lotto tickets. You don't win. There's no money there. So if you are, stop playing lotto tickets. Do something else with your life. It's not going to help you. Finally, I have a lot of people in my family that love food, love to cook. I don't cook, but I take a lot of pictures of their food. So I'm going to have a new Instagram channel dedicated just to take a foodie type of different food that my brother cooks, and it's gonna be called chefs, and it's gonna be a different type of chefs. There's a lot of great cooks, but these are chefs that they're not chefs from a school of the school industry of food. I don't know what they call it. Somebody put it there. Whatever you call a chef or a cook. No, this is more of street chefs, people from the neighborhood that grew up loving cooking, and they feel that adobo is not the right thing to buy, which is what I did. And I stopped buying adobo because of that, because all the criticism my brother Tati and some other people kept saying, you stop putting adobo, that thing is only salt. And that is true. My blood pressure is pretty high, and I'm pretty sure it's because I put a gallon of salt into everything. Don't do that. Not a gallon of salt. Maybe a little hand like that, just a jump shot of salt from your fingertips, and you can eat that. And what? So yeah, I've been eating a lot of steak. I gained 10 pounds. Because that's what I did. I ate like a champion this spring, and now we're into summer, and we're just working on that. We're working on eating less crap and more steak, chicken, eggs, protein, and then a little bit of. I haven't had pasta in a while, but I definitely love salads. I'm working on eating romaine lettuce, broccoli, carrots. I love carrots. And that, the healthy choices don't have to be that expensive. And why do I say that? Because I'm not a foodie, but I see them cooking, and now I'm going to post a bunch of pictures of them on my gram. And then I will also interview these crazy asses that think that they're cooks. These what I would call crazy scientists, mad scientists, where they feel like their cooking is always the best because they do their own version of whatever it is. So I'll ask them, what is it that you think it makes you a great cook, and what is it you do? Because they just disappear in the kitchen, come back with a bunch of steak that's all peppered up, and then I eat it. And I don't ask questions, but now I will, because I like it. I think it's time for me to learn what they're doing, and then from there move on from eating unhealthy to moving healthy. As my transition to my 50s is going to be more a little health conscious on food, exercise, more stretching, because I hurt my back and I can't even tie my shoelaces. I walk around the courthouse with my shoelaces untied because I can't tie them, and that's just a sad situation, but that's okay. That's what happens when you have a bad back. Even though I did go running in the heat wave, and for whatever reason it was so exhausting, my body feels a lot better now. I got traumatized, and my back pain went away. So for now, I don't have back pain. Uh, with that said, uh, if when I put that channel up, I'll link it to this one. Also, Hector was working out, and Hector got diesel, and good for Hector and his dieselness, because Hector worked out all spring. And if you don't know who Hector is, follow Hector's travel. He's a Lego, but he's a real person to me. And if not, we have a few other people, but follow that at least, and eclectic lo-fi. Listen to lo-fi music so that you don't spend money at the club and you spend it right here with me. Listen to lo-fi music, chilling. Even though because you're spending more time alone, you're gonna find out that that's actually a good thing for you. Maybe, and then you build yourself up, and then you work your way up to being a relationship, and not wasting time. With that said, I am Rob D, your host. This is established, and I hope you had fun. And I hope that the next podcast I have, I will show you pictures of my Jeep. And if not, it's because that's the way it happens. The math didn't math, but if the maths, then you can get it. So to good mathing, have a good one, and have a great one. Peace.